guys, it's Katie. Welcome to my recap review of Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 2, Stormborn. This was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, this episode was super fun and I so wasn't expecting some of the things to happen, so let's just get right into it. If you're not caught up on Game of Thrones, get out of here. I don't want to spoil you, okay? Go watch Game of Thrones. Alright, so our opening scene starts off with Dany, Tyrion, and Varys, and basically she's grilling him the entire time, like, well, you and your little birds, I don't know if I can trust you. I love that he basically pledges allegiance to her. I mean, he's done it sort of before for other people, but not in this way. And I just love that Dany was smart enough to say, don't conspire behind my back. Come tell me that I'm a bad leader. Come tell me and help me fix it. Don't just try to have me killed. So she basically pardons Varys, and it was a great scene. I loved that. And then, of course, the moment we've been waiting for, we get Mellisandre and Daenerys to finally meet. I've been really looking forward to this. They showed the exclusive clip at Comic-Con where Mellisandre is meeting Daenerys, and I just didn't realize that it was going to be in this episode. I was like, oh, that'll probably happen later in the season, but it happened this episode and I was so excited. I was like, yes! Ah, we don't have to wait. That's so awesome. I kind of missed Mellisandre there for a little bit, and I kind of like her back into the swing of things, but now she's finally like on the right track. I mean, I don't know how much credit you can give the Lord of Light when it comes to Mellisandre, because she has been all over the place. Like poor Stannis Baratheon. I mean, apparently he had something to do with this, but I'm kind of curious if we're ever gonna find out why she thought he was the one. Maybe because he led her to Jon Snow, and then Jon Snow banished her, and then she found Daenerys, and now Daenerys, she's literally going to be the reason that Jon and Daenerys meet, which is amazing. She convinces Daenerys and Tyrion to send a raven to Winterfell and convince Jon Snow to meet her, pledge allegiance, and then team up, and it's awesome. It's finally happening. Alright, so then we cut to the next scene where it's Jon and Sansa and Davos reading the letter from Daenerys. Man, that raven travels fast. And they're a little questionable about it, but you know, Tyrion, I love the relationship that Tyrion has had with all of these different characters throughout the entire series. I just think his character is so smart. Like, just his small interactions with Jon Snow from season 1 to, you know, going with him to the Wall and spending time there, he's just so smart. He really is. He knows how to get people to trust him, even though he's a Lannister, and even though maybe you shouldn't trust him sometimes. It was actually really exciting to see Sansa and Jon, who both hate the Lannisters, be like, alright, maybe we can trust him. Then of course later Jon's trying to convince his men that I need to go to Dragonstone to team up with Daenerys so we can get the dragon glass. She also has dragons. Hello, dragons. And of course the men are against it. You know, the Mad King obviously is not a good track record for Daenerys to have to follow. But Sansa, like, I get it. I understand why, you know, she thinks the way that she thinks. I mean, history does repeat itself. She already lost her entire family pretty much, and you know, she doesn't want to lose Jon, and I think you could tell in that scene that she really didn't want to. But then, what terrifies me about Sansa was Jon. All he had to do is be like, don't worry, I'm leaving Winterfell to you, and she's like, oh, yeah, go on, go ahead, yeah, okay, bye, yeah, we'll be great here without you. Yeah, forget everything I just said. Terrifying. Because if Sansa ends up on the Iron Throne and it's just like a whole repeat of everything that's already happened because of Cersei, and like she turns into a Cersei. I've said this from the beginning. Someone go back through my Game of Thrones videos and find where I say Sansa's going to be the next Cersei, because I've said it before and I think it's going to come true. I think she's actually going to end up being like that, which is going to be absolutely terrifying. But like Cersei, and for those of you who've read the books, you're a product of your circumstances, and you take what you can get, and maybe that's Sansa's path. I don't know. But that was really funny to me when she's just like, oh, me? Okay. I was actually laughing during that scene, but not because I thought it was stupid, just because I thought it was great. So yay, Jon's going to meet Dany! So excited for that. So then over in King's Landing, we have Cersei and Jaime, and they're just trying to grasp onto as many alliances as they possibly can, because, you know, they're few and far between these days over in King's Landing, but she is trying to rally Lord Tarly, and seems like it's pretty much happening. I mean, Jaime talked with Lord Tarly, and that was like a good conversation. I'm like, God, I hate him, but hey, whatever. So I'm really interested in finding out how he's going to play a role in helping Cersei, we'll see. I kind of don't want him to because he needs to redeem himself, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that before he dies. And Cersei's trying to find a way to kill the dragons. Seems like they've figured out a plan. I've said it from the beginning, I think one of the dragons is gonna die. I really hope it's not Drogon because, you know, we already had to lose Khal Drogo. Like, I don't want to lose Drogon, so maybe one of the other dragons. And I've always said I think Jon is going to awaken an ice dragon, fire and ice, 3 heads of the dragon. Like, I think there'll still be 3. I think one of Daenerys' dragons is going down this season, and I don't want it to happen, and I don't want to see it happen. Just getting you guys prepared, okay? I don't need tears. There's still gonna be tears, but, you know, at least if we start talking about it, it won't hurt as much. It'll still hurt a lot. So then a really cool scene is we have Sam meeting Jorah and basically trying to fix his grayscale, which was awful to watch. Like, that scene was amazingly done, but so mean. How many of you out there were like, no, when they cut from Jorah to the food? Oh my gosh, like, I was yelling at my TV. I was like, no, oh, Game of Thrones. That was mean. That was just mean, but I'm really hoping that this technique that Sam is doing cures Jorah. I mean, he is one of my favorite characters, and his loyalty, and like, he's just such a good guy. So I mean, I feel like he has a big role to play in this show still, so I don't really think that he should die or will die, but I really hope he can make it back to Dany and maybe help them win. I don't know, we'll see. That scene was intense though. So then we have the scene where it's basically everyone plotting against Cersei. I loved watching all of these powerful women coming together. Any scene with Lady Olenna in it, and I'm like, sign me up. She's hilarious. I love that Dany was finally able to kind of bring everyone together. We got the Greyjoys, we got all the ladies from Dorne, we've got the Tyrells, some of them. And I just think that was such a cool scene, plotting against Cersei. And I just found it very interesting that Lady Olenna gives Dany the warning to never trust clever men. Because this whole time I'm like, no, trust him, he kind of knows what he's doing. I'm talking about Tyrion. You know, trust Tyrion, he's so smart. And for the show to throw in something like that leads me to believe, what if, it like puts questions in my head, which, you know, maybe that's the reason why they did it in the first place. But I'm like, oh man, what if he can't be trusted? But we know he can. It's Tyrion, come on. I don't know. It was just like an interesting choice, and I was really kind of confused by it. I totally understand what she meant by it, but I don't know. It was just an interesting scene. You're a dragon, be a dragon. It was really cool. Oh my gosh, I loved the scene with Arya meeting Hot Pie and sitting there, and she's just like scarfing food and having this conversation with him. And he still calls her Ari, which is so cute. I love it. But she finally finds out that Jon is king in the north and is back at Winterfell and makes the decision to go to Winterfell, which was so great. I was like, you gotta go. Like, we have to reunite the Starks. You guys can't be separated anymore. None of you are allowed to die anymore. Just come together, work as a family and a team. I just want to see Arya fighting alongside Jon. I think that would just be the best, the coolest thing, especially because she still has Needle, and that was so special to her, and Jon is so special to her that it would just be really cool to see, so I hope that that happens. Okay guys, so the next Arya scene, I legitimately had tears in my eyes, and it's probably because I've read the books. When the wolf pack came, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I started like yelling at my TV. I was like, this is it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Nymeria, Nymeria. That was just insane. And then she said, that isn't you. And I was like, what? I was so confused by it. Was it not Nymeria? Someone tell me in the comments. Was it not Nymeria? Was she just saying that to herself? Like, you kind of have to let the child in you go, like you grew up really fast and you wanted that to be, I don't know what it was. I was so confused because she has to reunite with Nymeria. So if that was Nymeria, maybe the direwolf will come back and help her later. This was really cool for me because there was actually a scene in the book where Arya hears a wolf pack and she can tell that the leader of this wolf pack is bigger, much bigger and more like a direwolf compared to the rest of the wolves, and she thinks in her head, I wonder if that's Nymeria. So they kind of represented that scene from the book in tonight's episode, and for me it just was amazing. So yeah, I wonder if they're getting that back in everyone's head so Nymeria can come back. But I was bummed. I was like, go with her, go, what are you doing, go. but she didn't go. So I don't know. I don't know if it was Nymeria or not, but man, I'm hoping we get Nymeria back this season. That would be so cool. All right, so after this scene, and I have tears in my eyes over Nymeria, which is so silly, but it just was such a sweet scene. I was like, how is there still 10-15 minutes left in the episode? What's going to happen? Oh, you know, just an epic nautical battle. I mean, from the trailers, we knew we were going to be getting this awesome looking nautical battle. And I think we all predicted it. Euron Greyjoy coming to take out Yara and Theon's fleet of ships and also eliminating the sand snakes. No! They didn't even get to do anything this season! But yeah, no clue what happened to Yara. So who knows if she's alive or not. Theon, complete coward from beginning to end. I don't think he's ever going to change, nor do I even care anymore. Like, I just want him to go away. Yara's the strong one that I actually like, and she could be a good queen of the Iron Islands, but, man, stupid Euron Greyjoy. I hate that guy. I feel like all the men in the Greyjoys were just cowards, and they are. And Euron's gonna have it coming to him later this season, hopefully, because I'm so sick of him. He's gonna, like, parade back to King's Landing like, look what I did, Cersei, marry me. Ugh. But stupid Theon, like, I hope you drown out there in the middle of the ocean. There's nowhere for you to go. But of course, next week he'll probably just, you know, oh, oops, I found the shore and I'm alive. But I gotta say, that battle was pretty awesome. I mean, all of the little fire, like, little bits of fire floating through the air during all of the fighting and the talking, like, it was just super epic. And all the ships on fire, and parts of the water on fire, and everyone's dying. I mean, it was such a cool scene. Last week we didn't have any action, so it was really cool that we had this little bit of action right at the end. But this is so exciting because finally we're getting Jon Snow to meet Daenerys. Hopefully it happens next week. I don't know, the preview for next week made it seem like they're gonna meet, but I don't know. They could be hiding it from us until later, or maybe it will happen next week. I don't know. But I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for Arya to make it back to Winterfell. I wonder if she's gonna get back to Winterfell before Jon's back and have to just like be alone with Sansa, and that could be really awkward and weird. I am just so pumped for this season. So far, we're only 2 episodes in, and we have to be so grateful for them and take them all in as much as we can because we're not getting that many this season, and it sucks. Ugh, it's gonna be over before we know it, but this episode was really fun. I wanna know from you guys, what did you love most about this episode? Was that Nymeria? Question of the day. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it and be like, was it? Was it not? I'm so confused, but let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, I just came back from San Diego Comic-Con where I got to do the Game of Thrones Winter is Here exhibit experience. It was absolutely incredible. So if you haven't seen the video, check it out right here. It is so much fun. Check that out, and please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos, and I will see you guys next week for more Game of Thrones. Bye, guys.